we saw was there is something called as prologue, epilogue, okay, which is management applied by the complete process. Management, I mean to say, whenever an operating system environment is to be created to execute users program, what would be requirement of the program? So if you recall, if you have seen like Gavin's book rather, a process management chapter, so we came to know that there is something called process control block, okay, which contains some information about say your program, okay, which is in running state. Like all states would be preserved for in whatever particular time span when it starts execution, at what at particular time span, in what state your program is, correct, because your program would be in running mode or execution mode. So ultimately it is going to formulate, or it is going to communicate you some other aspects in terms of, say, for a while, 1 minute. It should let you know like what would be minimum requirement of the code, okay, then what resources would be required by the program itself, and so on. Now when we do talk about this PCB, okay, this PCB would be containing information about the process and few other aspects. Like you would be having one table where all process would be stored. Now when as an assembler, okay, we create an object code which will be used further, what information should we pass to the linker, okay, which will make life of linker very easy to create an executable. Then definitely we need to understand what are the different things that could be possibly included in your linker table, or what are the different data structures that might be used by the linker ultimately to generate your executable. So like if I try saying this, for example, if I see this readelf command, so it will give me multiple options. I can print most of the things related to the system that I'm using, correct. Even like there is, I think, and X dump. Okay, this is another one, like which will give you
सर
kind of, हाँ
स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहे हो आप?
हाँ दिख नहीं रहा
नहीं
है?
नहीं
ओ, देखता हूँ क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है। क्या भी देखो आ गए।
हाँ हाँ सर
Okay,
अभी दिख रहा है।
thank you. So like we talked about readelf, fine. So which contain multiple switches rather to see contents of the ELF file, which can be visible, like which can be like visible to the user. Now everything may not be shown to the user directly, because we saw different utility even, like for example obj dump. Okay, what obj dump does? Obj dump displays you the object contents, correct, and readelf would be giving you information which is fetched from the ELF, correct. Now when I say ELF, it could be object code, it could be executable, we don't care ultimately. But if I try to see this hexdump even, correct, there is another command called hexdump which will give you complete hexdump of the system, okay, byte to byte, or depends like how exactly you want to display. There are multiple options which could be shown there, fine. Now when we do talk about these all utilities, hexdump, readelf, and obj dump, they are doing their own things rather, and even like we saw this nm command as well, correct, which fetches symbols from the object file. Now if I try, say for example, let us go to a dot, yeah, I have a dot out. So if I write nm a dot out, okay, I would be getting some set of symbols. Now if I try to compute, okay, how many symbols are, so it is listing me that there are 39. Now if same thing, if I go with readelf and if I write dash s a dot out, and if I say WC dash L, now few more are added. Now when we do talk about this dash S, okay, and nm command, like readelf dash S and nm command. Now I want you to find out what exactly the proper difference between these two. So both of them are going to fetch the data from this executable itself. But few things would be like which only could be known by the ELF reader, correct? Which might not be available for the user directly per se. Like for example, I might not get at all information about this, though it is showing me, correct? For example, these all, okay. So I may not be able to get that information. And then when we do talk about this data start and so on, where your code starts, ultimately I need to know from the system where exactly the execution point would be. And that is the reason why this is always kept. And if you see, most of the things which are written here as undefined, it would be difficult rather to us to understand where exactly I can get that function, because it is a file which is created through the linker, right? Now when it is created through the linker, ultimately okay, now when we were talking about these readelf and nm, correct? Now few things like how I will I know that this is the particular function which would be getting executed. For example, if I go to let us see which command that we applied earlier for GCC. Okay, controller. Okay, let us go with this, and now let me debug this. Okay, now ultimately it is reading symbols from a.out. So either it could be making use of internally something like dash s to get that data, okay, or it might be fetching few things which would not be possibly there. Now if I try to differentiate between the a.out which is created using dash d and which is created using without dash g, the difference is all debugging symbols would be added, and ultimately size, because symbol table is attached to your code, size would be increasing. Now how this information is passed when we write dash g for NASM even, for example, so if I say NASM dash f elf 32, okay, and we say XAMPP dot asm. So if I write, now see the size 672, okay. Now if I write dash g and if I see the size now, ultimately the size is big, correct? So let us say mv XAMPP.o2 1.0, okay, and we will create this. Now if I try to write diff, okay, XAMPP.o and 1.0, because their sizes are different. Now this diff may not be permitting me to really see this, but if I go with say for example xdump 1.0 by place, so this will be the kind of exact representation, and first column here is talking about the addresses generated internally, okay. They are linking time addresses, linking time binding you must have heard about, correct? And if I go with say for example read okay nm 1.0, okay, it is showing me 3. So if I go with read elf dash s 1.0, now you may see what is the difference between these two. Here I could see only these 4: a, main, message and printf, which is here, correct? Now if you see carefully, the addresses are also maintained. A address, whatever the address that was with for the data section, it was 0. Then A, like message started at 8, so that's why this is added. Then there is a printf which is undefined, okay. I can see the address even. For main also I got the address as 0. Now I have additional information generated over there, okay. Now similarly, if I go with this XAMPP.O, which is without dash G, correct? Now if I try to compare, what exactly the difference between these two? Is there any difference between these two? Though I have used it through dash without dash G, and earlier 1.0 was with dash G, correct? Like that's what we did. So we generated, say for example, this, correct, and then we renamed it by 1.2, and when we saw 1.0's contents rather here, we could see only these entries, 8 entries, and same thing when I tried with an object code which was generated without dash G, I got the same thing. Then where exactly the difference is? So is it going, is it differentiating that at the time of linking or something else? Correct. Because now it is creating, it is storing this information with it. Fine. So suppose I will take this XAMPP and I will generate dash, sorry, I will generate executable, the XAMPP.o dash M32. Fine. And if I write now readelf dash s and a dot out. Now if I try counting this, 83 entries, correct? And if I try to search grep main, now this is the address that I got at 66th entry, correct, for my main thing. Now similarly, if I go with a MSG we will take. So MSG could be found here. So with the length to be 23, correct, and this is the address. That means what? Like apart from these messages, like for example, if I write even a, this is a here, which is my code. But majority of things, like for example, if I go from here to here, are added because of my linker. So when I tried generating this a dot out, okay, for the file which was generated for XAMPP, okay, which is that object code, okay, without debugging information. So I got this. So now if I go again by taking this 1.0 now, which was with dash G, correct, if you recall correctly. Okay, and now let us check this one. Now what extra thing was added there? How many bytes were added? Seems, or not bytes in terms of, but number of lines added were 2. Earlier without dash G it was containing 83, and after dash G is applied I got 85. What these 2 bytes are referring to then? Correct. So if I see contents now, so let us write main. Now see address of main V0. Now my address became like this line number became 68. Okay, and for main it was 66. That means 2 bytes somewhere were adjusted. Correct. So if now when I try to compare both of these, I need to find out what information is to be passed by the translator, so that when different switches are used, correct, different switches are used. Like for example here, while generating this file, ELF file, we gave dash M32 as well as dash F ELF32 and command. If I change this to 64, ultimately I am going to see the different side. If I change that file format again to some other stuff, like for example PE format, then my size would be changing. So there could be different file formats that I might be following depending upon how I can generate a code executable for some other architecture which is not present on my machine now. Correct. So can you recall what terminology I used that time to say that okay, what exactly it does? You are working on one architecture and you are creating a file for another architecture. Right? Now, when I say architecture, I mean to say probably the processor even, because architecture would be containing that processor part. So we are working with Intel, say for example 32-bit machine or 64-bit machine. Mine was 64-bit, and from 64-bit I am creating a 32-bit. But now one may say, as it is from same family, it could adjust it. But what if I choose some other file format which might be supported by my lesson? If I put or pick any other format, say for example, okay, let us do this. So if I take this cough, for example, fine, nasm dash f cough xam dot a. Now let us see the size. Correct. Now if I compare, for example, with this dash a if f elf 32, now see my size. Ultimately, it is really nearly double. It may not be, but kind of. Now, if I try to really see, say for example, I will say xamp.o, elf xamp.o, okay, and I will create this fcoff. Now, if I try to see now diff again, sorry, if I go with xamp.o and elf xamp.o, it says different, because ultimately one may see. Now even if we don't apply this diff, one can exactly see this. But now if I try nm, say elf xamp.o, and if I go with nm xamp.o, now see what is added with xamp.o. Okay, when we took this fcoff. Now xamp.o was with common object file format, okay, for xamp.o, and elf xamp.o was our elf file. Now it is adding few more things which rightly could not be taken directly by us, but it definitely requires that information to be communicate to the system. And if you recall, in one of the session I was talking about that bytecode format of Java. Right? When you say bytecode, how exactly or what exactly that means? So you are trying to do what? You are trying to pass data like this so that all control can be given directly to the system. Here we exactly know that this system for which we are creating an executable, okay, or we are creating an object file, is the architecture itself. But when you are creating it for other architecture, I definitely need to add more information, and that is the reason why these two, then this one is also added. Correct. So that it will differentiate between the content. So even if I go with read read ELF, let me try this. We know that it may not work, but let us try if we can get it. And then suddenly it said, no, it seems there is some difference, because the wrong magic bytes. Wrong magic bytes means what? So if I write read ELF xamp.o, 1 minute, let me read ELF. Yeah, read elf dash h xamp.o. Okay, now it is not going to show me what the file format is, correct, because this xamp.o is not an elf file. But similarly, if I do this with elf xamp.o, ultimately it tells me this. This is the parameter which differentiates xamp.o and elf xamp.o. And like if I try, now how will I get then this code, this magic number? Correct. So for this xamp.o, then I definitely will require to find out on a reader which will permit me to open this xamp.o. So if I go with obj dump even, obj dump dash d xamp.o, you will be able to see something because it is only going to generate the object code, data, message, and mail. Nothing more than that is added, which could be visible to me. Correct. It is not showing me all other aspects which were supposed to be shown. Correct. Because it says PE, portable executable I386 format. Though we said COF, common object file format. This is portable executable file format. So if you recall, I asked you to read linker and loader book. Okay. And I asked you to read that particular chapter where all these file formats are described, and this is the portable executable file format. Now what this portable executable file format will do, it will help us to use this code directly on Windows operating system as well. Maybe some of the things might not be supported there depending upon the instruction support that you have with your OS. But if you really wish to go about, one can definitely try that. So will it be permitted for me to really get it? Like most of you are using Linux operating system, correct? Now you can do this. Like try to see, like okay, can you use GCC on Windows itself? Okay, create an object code there. Take that object code and try to see contents of it on Linux. Okay, will you be able to get the contents through either obj dump or nm or readlf, whatever way? Okay, because GCC is now, can we call that object code as on a cross platform, or can we call that object code as bytecode? Okay, though we don't require now any specific say JVM kind of aspect. Though we are using same translator, only operating environment is changing. Here you are working with GCC on Windows and you are working with GCC on Linux. Now if it is the same product, only depending upon requirement of operating system, your file formats are changing, because on Linux it will generate .o, probably on Windows, probably I am saying, I have tried, but maybe you can try this, it may give me .obj as per the file format available with Windows platform. Now when we try to compare this, can you recall what terminology I used there? Because you are generating code for some other operating platform. What we call that terminology as? What kind of assembler is this? If I talk about particularly NASM. It is going to be an assembler, definitely. But what kind of assembler? When I say what kind of assembler, what exactly I mean by it? So do I mean by one pass assembler, two pass assembler? Actually no. I really wanted to know now if my assembler is going to generate these many or support these many file formats which we listed there using NASM-HF. Correct. It could even generate for whatever the operating environment those are available. Now how exactly I am going to support them? So have you heard about this command sys? Have you heard about this command sys? Now when DOS came into picture as an operating system, DOS used to only have 3 commands to run as an operating system: io.sys, ms-dos.sys and command.com. Only 3 files used to be there on a floppy through which you could easily start your operating system. IO support was provided by the device drivers written in IOSys. Command control was totally managed to have communication between different devices, not related to IO, but internal processing through memory manager and so on. That was handled by ms-dos.sys, and there was a file command.com, which was a shell, like the way that we write sh shell, whatever the bash shell that we are using. Command.com was a shell for DOS. Only 3 files were necessary. Now if you go with currently the different files used by say Linux or Windows, there is a huge group of huge group of files which is actually there to support your operating system environment. Correct. Now how exactly we are going to work out in respect of the different file formats? Correct. Now, okay. Another thing that you are going to find out is I have these two formats which most of you already have used, 64 and 32. Correct. Now, what is this X? So let me do this even with NASM. Let us see whether is it permitting me to get ELF X32. Okay, and if I write now ls-l exam.o. Okay, so now if I write ELF32 and the size, small changes were there, correct? 672 to 688, somewhat stretched size. So if I write nm exam.o for my original file ELF, and if I go with this and if I write this, things look to be same. Then what about this read elf -s? Let us take wc-l 11. Okay, now I am taking this and now read elf. So again it is same. So where exactly might be the change then? What that x is doing for us? Correct? What that x is doing for us? Because this XAMPP which we used here or which we listed here was from X32 and this was from without X. So what might be the differing parameter between these file formats? So like for reading purpose, this reading work for you. Okay, go to our Moodle course, and in that Moodle course of NASM or PostgreSQL, sorry, NASM thing, what you have to do is you have to learn, you have to read the chapter which I was talking about. Correct? What was that? Was that one? Which was that one? Linker and loader. I hope we downloaded that data. Yeah. So I want you to read this chapter, object files. What goes to object file, and if I have to design my object format, what it should contain. So 59 and 60, 2-3 pages are there, and try to find out differences between all these ELF or what are the file formats. Try to gather information about the file formats which are listed here by NASM-HF. Prepare a document. Like I hope you are now 6 people, correct? With Azu. Let us see how many of you are there. Okay, we got 13 people. So all 13 people, like Aniket, can you please take screenshot of this? So these 13 people are suggested to communicate to Aniket, including Aniket there. Okay, what you have to do is you divide yourself into group of 2, which I already asked you to do, correct? And I assume you must have communicated to as a response to your assignment. Now what I want is like 2 people can, like you divide amongst you all these files, ultimately take 2 each. So even like if I see this, there are we are interested in this only, valid output file format. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, try to pick most of this. Okay, now I want you people to find out information about each of these things. Each of these things I mean to say, like what exactly they are containing. So whatever is explained in the book rather, okay, what goes to object file, what that file format may contain. Prepare a document, like each one of you can take even. No need to work with team, but you mention your file type into WhatsApp group, okay, which was created by us for this course. So you pick the file format and you put it. So it would be like who responds first in the group would be the file format that he is going to choose. Fine. So you can check this and you post it right now, right away in your NASM group so that you can ultimately address these things. Fine. See these file formats. So you have to work with, you have to choose one of them. You add that in your NASM, which format you will choose. Try avoiding ELF 32 and ELF 64 and even ELF X32. So we'll talk about them probably in greater details later. I want you to address the remaining ones. So you pick 111, okay, and then post it in NASM group that you are going to really find out information about bin, ITH, SREC or AOut B and so on. So what are the file format that is written by you, it will be as per the order of your choice. Okay, see that you will not repeat. Understood what is to be done? So for example, if my roll number is X, okay, N something, N19 and so on. So I will write bin, okay. Then if my roll number is 18 something, N18 something, so I will write, okay, I am going to pick AS86. So you have to mention this into our NASM WhatsApp group so that the file you can find out in greater information about those details. So one who is choosing ELF32 ultimately would be addressing 64 as well, and as well as this ELF X32. One who is choosing Windows 32, okay, object code also would be talking about this. Even same thing for Mac OS 32 and 64. Okay, there will not be any much more difference rather to be added. So I want you to mention your file types into the respective group. So this will be your task for the day. Fine. Any question? If there is any, you can ask me. So first thing that you are going to do is you are going to mention in WhatsApp group which file format you will be using. Then you are going to read this chapter. Okay, maybe like I will add one more time this link into our chat window so that you can refer that file. You can refer this file for understanding what the file format is. Any question? This will help us to understand greater details of what NASM exactly does. Fine? Any question till this time? Yes, please. No? So assume like you are going to put on NASM group, WhatsApp group, which format you would be choosing from this list. So how I listed it, you write NASM-HF. Bottom part would be these file formats. You are going to write your roll number and the file format in NASM group, fine, WhatsApp group. So it would be first come first serve kind of basis. So whoever posts it, that would be allocated to him. Okay. So I want the people who already to whom already I asked to perform the task. Like for example, if you see the chat window, okay, I asked make to be presented by Rakesh. Then Atomic किसको बोला था? I told Aniket to talk about how to create a build, and Payal, Isha, they can really choose from this by discussing altogether with yourself. Gprobe, then AutoConf. AutoConf कोणी केलं होतं? I think somebody told me, no, AutoConf. Pranoti, you can talk about AutoConf. Okay, and Payal, you can talk about M4 macro, okay, and make together. Sorry, automake, because Rakesh would be talking about make, and Isha, you can talk about profiler. Fine. Try to search it and work with. Fine. And you can avoid taking the file format. You can mention that topic name there. I want each one of you to prepare a document about it. Along with it, I want you to record a video. When you understood everything, record a video and share that link into WhatsApp group so that it would be like your presentation for that particular topic. Any question? Any question, please? No? Okay, then we'll stop here, because like I want you people to really prepare that video as well as 1 to 2 page write up about the topic that is given to you. Fine. I will add it, like make was given to Rakesh, auto make, and what was given file to you, auto make and
ऑटोमेक only sir.
M4 मैक्रो किसको दिया फिर?
वो भी मुझे है क्या?
हाँ, क्योंकि मेक और ऑटो मेक में कुछ डिफरेंस नहीं है. सो राकेश कैन हैंडल ऑटो मेक एंड मेक, करेक्ट?
Okay, okay. Give me the information.
हाँ, सो M4 मैक्रो Rakesh, then M4 macro by Payal, AutoConf by Pranoti, and what is the remaining? gprof by Isha, and build Aniket. Okay, I added that on WhatsApp group. Apart from these 5, whoever are remaining have to choose file format. I think Rishikesh already added the file format out or out. Fine. So rest of you can post it. What is to be done? You have to prepare a 2-page write-up, 1 to 2 page write-up about it. Try to write in your own understanding. Avoid copying pasting from kind of sources like Wikipedia. Definitely you can refer them, but you have to write in your own words. We are not going to check English part of it. Okay, if you are not comfortable with, fine. And you have to record a video demonstrating that utility or demonstrating that particular, you may call it as file format. Fine. Okay. So we'll stop here and we'll discuss the remaining part of it in